person who is trying to console you lives effortlessly among the simple, quiet words that sometimes make you feel better. But it were any different, he could never have found the words that he did. By Rainer Maria, Letters to a Young Poet. So I really do like this book to read at some moments in life. Introduction. I sometimes write things down to comfort myself. Stuff learned in the bad times, thoughts, meditations, lists, examples, things I want to remind myself of, or things I have learned from other people or other lives. It is a strange paradox that many of the clearest, most comforting life lessons are learned while we are at our lowest. But then we never think about food more than when we were hungry, and we never think about life rafts more than when we are thrown overboard. So there are some of my life rafts, the thoughts that have kept me afloat. I hope some of them may carry you to a dry land too. I think it's a very, very beautiful introduction, personally. So, let's try this. A note on structure. This book is as messy as life. It has a lot of short chapters and some long ones. It contains lists and aphorisms, I believe, and quotes, and case studies, and more lists, and even the occasional recipe. It is influenced by experience, but has moments of inspiration taken from anything ranging from quantum physics to philosophy, from movies I like to ancient religions to Instagram. Interesting. Very interesting. You can read it how you want. You can start at the beginning and end at the end, or you can start at the end and end at the beginning, or you can just dip into it. You can crease the page, you can tear out the page, you can lend it to a friend, though maybe not if you've turned out the pages. You can place it beside your bed or keep it next to the toilet. You can throw it out of the window. There are no rules. There's a kind of accidental theme, though. The theme is connection. We are all things, and we connect to all things, human to human, moment to moment, pain to pleasure, and despair to hope. When times are hard, we need a deep kind of comfort, sometimes elemental, a solid support, a rock to hold on to. The kind we already have inside us, but which we sometimes need a bit of help to see. This is part 1. Perhaps hope is not a place, but simply an irrevocable condition. James Baldwin, Giovanni's Room. Sounds like a very interesting sentence. Baby. Imagine yourself as a baby. You would look at that baby and think they lacked nothing. That baby came complete. Their value was innate from their first breath. Their value did not depend on external things like wealth or appearance or politics or popularity. It was the infinite value of a human life, and that value stays with us, even as it becomes easier to forget it. We stay precisely as alive and precisely as human as we were the day that we were born. The only thing we need is to exist and to hope. Okay. You are the goal. You don't have to continuously improve yourself to love yourself. Love is not something you only deserve if you reach a goal. The world is one of pleasure. But don't let it squeeze your self-compassion. You were born worthy of love, and you remain worthy of love. Be kind to yourself. Nothing is stronger than a small hope that doesn't give up. And I think I've read it, a part of it, previously, when I showed the book. The thing my dad said once when we were lost in a forest. Once upon a time, my father and I got lost in a forest in France. I must have been about 12 or 13. Anyway, it was before the era when most people owned a mobile phone. We were on holiday, the rural, landlocked, basic kind of middle-class holiday. I didn't really understand. It was in the Loire Valley, and we had gone for a run find the path, but with no luck. My dad asked two men, poachers, for directions, and they sent us the wrong way. I could tell my dad was starting to panic. We had been in the forest for hours, and now we both knew my mom would be in a state of absolute terror. Okay. At school, I had just been told the Bible story of Israelites who had died in the wilderness, and I found it easy to imagine that it would be our fate too. If we keep going to a straight line, we'll get out of here, my dad said. And he was right. Eventually, we heard the sound of cars and reached the main goal. We were 11 miles from the village where we had started off. But at least we had signposts now. We were clear of trees, and I often think of that strategy when I am totally lost, literally or metaphorically. I thought of it when I was in the middle of a breakdown. When I was living in a panic attack, punctuated only by depression, when my heart pounded rapidly with fear, when I hardly knew who I was and didn't know how I could carry on living. If we keep going in a straight line, we'll get out of here. Walking one foot in front of the other in the same direction will always get you further than running around in circles. It's about determination to keep walking forward. I believe I agree with that. I think it's a very strong statement as well. A very beautiful story. It's okay. It's okay to be broken. It's okay to wear the scars of experience. It's okay to be a mess. It's okay to be the teacup with a chip in it. That's the one with the story. It's okay to be sentimental and whimsical and cry bittersweet tears at songs and movies that you're not supposed to love. It's okay to like what you like. It's okay to like things for literally no other reason than just because you like them and not because they are cool or clever or popular. It's okay to let people find you. You don't have to spread yourself so thin you become invisible. You don't have to always be the person reaching out. You can sometimes allow yourself to be reached. As the great writer Anne Lamott puts it, lighthouses don't go running all over the island for boats to save. They just stand there, shining. It's okay not to make the most out of every chunk of time. It's okay to be who you are. It's okay. Personally, that is something I should be telling myself a bit more often. Power. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, thought that if we're distressed about something external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. I love this, but also know from experience that finding that power can be near impossible at times. We can't just click our fingers and get rid of, say, grief or the stress of work or health worries. When we are lost in the forest, our fears might not be directly caused by the forest or our being lost in the said forest. But while we actively lost in the forest, it very much feels like the source of our fear is being lost in the forest. But it is helpful to remember that our perspective is our world, and our external circumstances don't need to change in order for our perspective to change. And the forest we find ourselves in are metaphorical, and sometimes we are unable to escape them. But with a change of perspective, we can live among the trees. Again, very poetic. Nothing is either good or bad. When Hamlet tells his old university buddies, Rosencrantz, I hope I pronounced it right, and Guildenstern, that there is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. He doesn't mean it in a positive way. Shakespeare's prince is in a foul and depressed mood, but with reason. He is talking about Denmark and indeed the whole world being a prison. For him, Denmark really is a physical and psychological prison, but he is also aware that perspective plays a part in this, and that the world and Denmark aren't intrinsically bad. They are bad from his perspective. They are bad because he thinks they are. External events are neutral. They only gain positive or negative value the moment they enter our minds. It is ultimately up to us how we greet these things. It's not always us are the same people we were 10 years ago. When we feel or experience terrible things, it is useful to remember that nothing lasts. Perspective shifts. We become different versions of ourselves. The hardest question I've ever been asked is, how do I stay alive for other people if I have no one? The answer is that you stay alive for other versions of you. For the people you will meet, yes, sure, but also the people you will be. To be is to let go. Self-forgiveness makes the world better. You don't become a good person by believing you are a bad one. So I think this will be it for now. If you want me to continue, please feel free, because I love reading things out and I really like whispering ASMR. And this is really the best I can do with my current setup. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and I hope you had a very relaxing time, whether it's daytime or nighttime. Thank you again for hanging out, and I would love to see you again and make more videos, hopefully sometime soon as well. Might not always have the time, but I can always try. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you sleep well, or just rest well, and I hope you have an amazing